These are the shlokas in the vritti of the sutra sar Ramayor Vishnu Sarva Vishnu Padante. प्रांग निमित्तम तथा kāryi कारियम परम निमित्तकम अत्र क्रमेण वक्तव्यम प्रायः सूत्रेषु सर्वतः क्वचित् पर-निमित्तस्य स्थाने विषय सप्तमी कार्य पूर्वे पंचमी स्यात् कार्य स्थाने तो षष्ठिका कार्य तो प्रथमा वाच्या सप्तमी विषये परे विना योगे निषेधार्थं द्वितीया क्वचित् इष्यते. What does it mean? Okay. Generally, in the sutras of this book of Sri Harinamamrta Vyakaranam, so these are the translations of these shlokas. The sutras in this book, things are mentioned in this order. Prang-nimittam. Prang-nimitta refers to the pūrva-nimitta, the former cause. Kāryī, I have already told you what is kāryī. Kāryī means the kārya sthan, where the kārya takes place. Kārya means the operation, the effect, and para-nimitta, the later cause. So I had already told you these four things. So things are mentioned in this order in the sutra of this book. Sometimes a Vishaya Saptami is in place of the para-nimitta. I will understand what is a Vishaya Saptami. So we know what is pūrva-nimitta, that is also known as prang-nimitta. You can take notes of this, what we are studying now. Prang-nimitta equals to pūrva-nimitta, second is kāryī, then kārya and para-nimitta. Okay.
Excuse me, what is the meaning of para-nimitta?
Para-nimitta means the later cause.
Later cause, isn't that pūrva-nimitta?
That is like a prior cause, prior means before and later means after.
Okay, so para-nimitta is the after the kāryī and the kārya, there is a letter that changes, that's the para-nimitta.
Not literally, like
in one example, could you give what is para-nimitta?
Just 1 minute. Okay. Many examples are there. So we'll consider one example from Krishnasya Trivikramo Gopale. You remember that sutra?
Mm-hmm.
Krishnasya Trivikramo Gopale. So the sutra said,
yes.
Krishnasya Tri. Now, it means that if we have a word like a Rama, which is Krishna, and if we have a Gopala afterwards, now this requirement of Gopala being afterwards, this is para-nimitta. So in this case, what happens? This a becomes Trivikrama A. So here Gopala is the para-nimitta.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, so we'll do it and again we'll do examples. So let us just read it first. So prang-nimitta, which equals
to kārya that is happening is Trivikrama.
What is that? Yeah, kārya here is Trivikrama. It's becoming
kārya that is happening is Trivikrama.
Yes, it's becoming Trivikrama. So the prang-nimitta, kāryī, kārya and para-nimitta. Then, this is important now. Panchami is used when there is a prang-nimitta. Take note of this. If you get this, then just without reading the translations, you can know the meaning of sutras of Harinamamrta Vyakaranam. So Panchami is used when there is prang-nimitta. So how can we identify prang-nimitta or pūrva-nimitta in a sutra? By Panchami. That's always mentioned in Panchami Prayoga, the fifth case. So for pūrva-nimitta, prang-nimitta, they have used panchami. Jiva Goswami has used panchami. Then kāryī, the kārya sthan, where the kārya is taking place, they have used shashti, sixth case. We'll do examples for that, no worry. So for the kāryī, they have used shashti, sixth case. Then for the kārya, the operation, they have used prathama. And for para-nimitta or vishaya, they have used saptami. So vishaya I will explain. Okay, again, for pūrva-nimitta, they have used panchami. For kārya sthan, which is kāryī, they have used shashti. For kārya prathama, and for para-nimitta saptami. Now let us do some example to understand them. So
where in the document is this? This was under, these vrittis are under a sutra?
Sir Ramyor, it's 115, page number 115.
Oh.
So prang-nimitta or pūrva-nimitta, the vibhakti used is panchami, fifth case. Then for kāryī, which means the kārya sthan, they have used shashti. For kārya, they have used prathama, and for para-nimitta, they have used saptami. Now, how to understand it more easily? So, Krishnat ta inaha. We are doing that to understand the pūrva-nimitta. Krishnat, Krishna. Krishnat ta inaha. Now, Krishna. Okay, first of all, who will tell the translation for this? What does it mean? Anyone? You can even look at the book, the PDF, your notes.
Is it something like after a Krishna, the ta turns into inaha?
Yes, you're right. After a Krishna, ta becomes or is substituted by ina. You're right, absolutely. Now the point is, after a Krishna, you see, that is the pūrva-nimitta, panchami. That after a Krishna, if Krishna is the pūrva-nimitta, then only ta is replaced by inaha. Is this clear? The usage of panchami vibhakti as pūrva-nimitta?
Yeah, very clear.
Right. So the reason why you're saying this now is because
thinking,
now we've seen
when you
these
say
cases.
Panchami
get
Vibhakti-
actually corrected.
Yes, the reason is because now you know forms, so we can relate to it. Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you were mentioning something? Ramaprema Prabhu. Okay. So that was the.
I do have a question because the fifth,
Prabhu,
I don't know how many uses does it have. I thought it was like from.
No, that's a different thing. Now we are just looking at the usage in the sutras.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's like a different thing what you're talking of, like, in the
Okay.
shlokas, in the commentaries, but it's referring to how to understand the sutra, the pattern of the sutra.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we are focusing on. Okay, so this is the prayoga of Panchami here. Then
What is prayoga?
usage.
Usage.
Okay, now we'll look for the second one, Shashti, kāryī, kāryasthan. Okay. Kāryī means the place where the kārya takes place. Okay, first of all, in this sutra, what is the kārya? What is the operation?
Trivikrama.
Trivikrama, right? Trivikrama. And where that Trivikrama, the operation is taking place?
In the last vowel of a Krishna,
And that is which word? Arama.
Arama.
Yeah. So that's
Well,
why.
it becomes Rama.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
It was Arama and it becomes Arama. That's the operation.
Yes. So the kāryī, the kārya sthan is the Krishna, Arama. So that's why it's taking sixth case, Krishnasya. The meaning would be Krishna, which means Arama, will become Trivikrama when Gopala follows. So what will become Trivikrama? Where the Karya will take place? Arama, which is known as Krishna Sangya. So that's why this is taking sixth case. Is that clear? The usage of kāryī, Karyasthana.
Yeah.
Now in this sutra again, we will understand the Karya, which means the operation, what is happening. And Karya takes Prathama Vibhakti, first case. So Krishnasya Trivikramaha. If we undo the Sandhi here, it is Trivikramaha. And Trivikramaha is 1-1, like Krishna, Rama. So this is Prathama Vibhakti, which indicates that it is a Karya. It's an operation. Clear?
Yes.
And similarly, we also have para-nimitta here. You know, when a Gopal follows, so this takes Saptami, Krishna, Rame, 7-1. So that's why it is Saptami and that's why it's para-nimitta. When Gopal follows.
In this case, what would be the pūrva-nimitta?
Yeah, okay. One thing is that it's not always that we will have all the four elements in all the sutras.
Acha.
Yeah. Sometime we may have some, sometime we may not have some. So is this clear? The usage of four prang-nimitta, kāryī, kārya and para-nimitta. Any doubt here? You can get to understand the sutra, any sutra of Harinamamrta Vyakaranam by this pattern.
Karya sthana 6.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu, please.
No, in this example, Krishnasya is 6. So what is the significance of that 6 Karya sthana in this example?
Yeah. So sixth case
What's it
means that it is the Karya sthana where the Karya will take place. So in this sutra, the Karya is Trivikramaha. Where is that place where the Trivikrama will take place? That is the Krishna word, the Arama. So that is why Krishna takes Shashti Vibhakti,
Yeah.
Krishnasya.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is like a marker for Krishnasya means. Okay.
Like, let's take one more example. Krishnasya AOC, which means Krishna. Okay, when we say Krishna, it automatically means Arama, right? So Krishna becomes A, the letter A, when Os follows. Now here, again, what is the Karya, what's happening? It's A Rama, which is Adesha. And where it is happening? Here. So that's why again they have taken Krishnasya, Shashti. Like that.
No, just for hypothetical to understand the concept, if it was OC, then the work would be happening in OC like that. Just hypothetically, trying to understand.
Yeah, means first of all, it won't be Osisya. It would be, if you have to do, it would be Osaha. But in any case, yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, like that. Now one concept is Vishaya Saptami. One is para-nimitta and one is Vishaya Saptami. Vishaya Saptami means that we don't have a para-nimitta as such, but there is still a requirement. For example, we have the sutra Sa Ra Rama Yor Vishnu Sargo Vishnu Padante. Right? The sutra says at the end of a Vishnu Pada, the Sa or Ra Ramas will become Vishnu Sarga, right? Now, this Vishnu Padante, if you see, this is also seventh case, like Rame or Krishna. But it is not a para-nimitta. You know, it's not a para-nimitta. It just means at the end of a Vishnu Pada. So this is also a requirement, because if it is not at the end of a Vishnu Pada, then this sutra will not be applied. So such usages are known as Vishaya. That although it is not a para-nimitta, pure para-nimitta, but it is a requirement, Vishaya. And it's also considered in seventh case. So this is Vishaya Saptami, you know, this Vishnu Padante.
So in this case, how did you discriminate whether it's Vishya Saptami or
Yeah, because like
not?
when we say Vishnu Padante, which literally means, okay, if we just do Vishnu Padanta, it means at the end of a Vishnu Pada. And Vishnu Pada means a word, at the end of a word. Now, when I say Vishnu Padante, if I take it up para-nimitta, let's say, when at the end of a word follows, does it make sense? No, it doesn't.
You would have to make the null character the para-nimitta. I mean, there is no null character.
What's that, Mataji?
So in some programming languages, you have a null character at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That means that there is nothing, that it's the end, there is nothing. So if that were a character, then that would be the para-nimitta, but there isn't one there. So it's just Vishaya.
So we'll read more. We'll have some more points here. Yeah, so that much only. So, yes, that's all. So, prang-nimitta, which is pūrva-nimitta, then kārya-sthana, which is the kāryī, then kārya, para-nimitta, and
This seems to be a good.
Say again, Prabhu. Okay.
This seems to be a good perspective. Means it is giving a new perspective to look at each and every sutra. So it is-
Yeah, actually, means when personally I studied, my teacher taught me, I was like, now real grammar is starting. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah, correct.
sweet.
So
Yeah, that makes the earlier sutras that we've
now
gone through.
if you go through, all the previous sutras from beginning at your own time, at your own ease, and you look all the sutras through this perspective, you will be amazed. You will really relish all the sutras now, because now basically the basic forms and you can relate, so you will feel really nice.
And now the question is, why did Srila Jiva Goswami put this sutra right here?
Because
Yes.
the point is, earlier we didn't know any forms like Krishna, 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 ityadi. And even though he had put that in Sara Ramyur Vritti, the beginning of the chapter only, but I am introducing it now because now the basic forms of 3-4 words, and now you can easily relate. If it was in the very beginning and you don't know the forms like Krishnasya, Krishna, and so on, then it would be impossible for anyone to understand the sutras that way.
I see.
Yeah. So, and personally, I do explain those shlokas somewhere around this time because it becomes easy for everyone to understand at this point. Okay. So, wow. So we did Vishnu. Now we begin the declension of the word. Okay. Any question here? Mahaprema Mataji? We are not hearing from you.
No, Prabhu, no questions.
Okay.
Oh, one thing I tried, I tried doing some example declensions, and as I did, I would recite the sutras, seeing from the book.
Mm-hmm.
I spent less time, but I feel that with that, the memorization of sutras is becoming fast. Means every step we do, we'll recite the sutras
Okay.
and then do the next
Yeah, actually, that's
memorization. It's
means
helping in memorization.
actually that is the way, the actual way. Means you are reciting at every step. We were writing at every step for each form. Only
That's nice.
only the
Yes, even
word
that.
Krishna, like Krishna word, to decline the whole table Krishna, I filled 6 to 7 pages. I had to write each step, each sutra and this and that, and means we would do really great homeworks for declining these words. And I still have those notebooks. I will send you some pics.
That
Some pics.
what
So
seems much better than recite.
so that is the way. So yeah. Okay. Now we begin the declension of the word Krishna Shri. This is Trivikrama E Ramanta in masculine gender, in Purushottama Linga. One who takes shelter of Krishna. Dhatauridutauryavau sarveshware bahulam. The E or U of a dhatu changes to E or U when a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with the Sarveshwara follows. You see, Sarveshware is in Saptami, which means if it follows. But this rule is Bahula. Okay, so the point is Trivikrama E and Trivikrama U, which belongs to a dhatu, a verbal stem or verbal root. They change to E and U respectively when a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with the Sarveshwara follows. But this is Bahula. What is Bahula? We'll understand. Um, okay, we'll read this Vritti. The word Sarveshware in this sutra really means Sarveshwaradav Vishnu Bhaktav, which means a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with the Sarveshwara, right? When a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with the Sarveshwara follows. Um, yes, so we'll just do Krishna Shri. Okay, first of all, where did Why are they starting from 1-3 only? Okay. So Krishna Shri. So 1-1. Krishna Yukta Su. Sorry, Krishna Shri Yukta Su. Right?
So we didn't have anything ending in Trivikrama E, did we?
We had that Vishwapa, if you remember.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I'm just looking for something here. Okay. So Krishna Shri Yukta Su 1-1. So we'll just Krishna Shri. We'll just combine them, no sutra. And then Sara Ramir Vishnu Sarga Vishnu Dante, Krishna Shri. Similarly, 1-2, when we have Krishna Shri Yukt Au, then we will apply this sutra. Dhatori Dutori Yavau Sarveshri Bahulam. For that, actually, we need to know, we need to have knowledge of Dhatu, which we'll have in the next chapter for sure. So Shri is a Dhatu, Shring Sevayam. So the Trivikram E of a Dhatu, of course, this Shri is a Dhatu, which is a part of a noun now, because Krishna Shri is a noun, but still Shri is a Dhatu. So this E belongs to a Dhatu. So this E turns into this E when a Vishnu Bhakti with the Sarveshwara follows. And thus we get Krishna Shriyav. Similarly, when 1-3 comes, Krishna Shri Yukta Jas, us remains. Same here, Krishna Shriyas and Krishna Shriyaha. Shriyaha Kantaha Ityadi. So that is like that. So yeah, Krishna Shriyaha 1-3. And Krishna Shriyaha, Krishna Shriyam, Krishna Shriyaha. So like that, this sutra, current sutra will be applied.
In the Sadhu Goswami Astaka, there is always the ending in au. I wonder why. And
that is because actually in Shad Goswami Ashtakam, what the composer has done is he has taken it into duals, dvivachanas. Vande Rupa Sanatanam. Rupa Sanatana is one pair of two Goswamis.
Achha. Okay,
Then
now that makes sense.
Vande Rupa Sanatana. Raghu Yugo is another pair of. And Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Yugo. Shri Jiva Gopal. So Jiva Gopal is the third pair. So he has taken into, 3 pairs of 2 to each. And all the adjectives, everything is describing his ending in Dvivachana, referring to, these groups of 2 to each, like that.
Now it makes sense. Okay, because yeah, it's like, okay, but they are 6. It should be Bahuvachana.
It's a way.
You just did that to sound nice, right?
I mean, depends on the composer. Means he could have made another way, but it's his way, his style. But of course, we have been chanting, and it also sounds nice. So yeah, that's for sure. Vande Rupa Sanatana. But that is it. Sets of 2. So it's in Dvivachana actually, the whole thing.
Prabhu, what's the meaning of Dhatu Shri specifically?
What is that, Mataji?
The meaning of Shri, Dhatu?
Shri. Shri. Okay. Shri can mean
That's a verb, right?
Shri can mean a lot of things.
Opulence, no?
Shri can mean opulence. Yeah, so Shri can means opulence, radiance, splendor, glory, beauty, grace, and whatnot.
But it is a verb.
I'm not able to hear Mataji.
It is a verb. Is a
Is
dhatu.
it is it a verb? She's asking.
Oh, okay. Sorry for that. Yes, Shri is a verb. Mm, just a minute. Shri. So yeah, this is the verb actually for Shri.
It's radiant, or was that the other? We were just looking at it.
Yeah, that was like noun form, but the root, the verbal root is this Shri. Which means Shring Sevayam. Seva means to worship and all. So yeah, this is a verb. Originally it is a verb, but it's made into a noun. But still, because it's a verb originally, so it's considered a verb uh, according to this sutra. Like that. So yes, that was Krishna Shri. Similarly, we have Bhu. Bhu is also a dhatu. Bhu yukta su bhu. And Bhu yukta au. So we apply the current sutra, dhato, ri, dutor, iyobau. So the Trivikrama u changes into uv, u and v together. So it becomes bhuvau. And 1-3 becomes bhuvaha, om bhu bhuvaha, we say. That is this. Like that. This sutra is clear. Dhato, ri, dutor, iyobau, sarveshware bahulam. At least the first part. The E and U, Trivikrama E and Trivikrama U of a dhatu changes to E and U. When a Vishnu Bhakti beginning with a Sarveshwara follows. Now, but this...
Like in any type of operation, it's not something very specific, but general to any operation.
This is like a specific operation because it's demanding that we should have either Trivikrama E or Trivikrama U, which should belong to a dhatu, not even to a general noun. So it's a specific operation.
But this E or U, is it the ending of the dhatu or in any part of dhatu?
No, at the ending, of course.
Achha.
At the ending. Now, what is bahula? We read bahula. What is bahula? But this rule is bahula. It is not always applied. As stated by the previous authorities, bahula means
A
it's like...
tiger,
What's that?
a tigress,
No.
bahulava.
Here, bahula means it's like... Bahula literally can mean manifold, manifold, many usages of that, of a particular rule or of a particular operation. So sometimes the rule is applied, sometimes it is not applied, sometimes it is optional, and sometimes something else is applied instead. Thus, observing the rule to be variously applied, the previous authorities have said that bahula is of 4 kinds. So bahula basically means that the same rule can be variously applied. Sometimes it is applied, sometimes it is not, sometimes it is optional, and sometimes something else is applied in place of that thing. It sounds a little weird, what is that? But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's very abstract actually.
Yeah, like personally, when I read it, I was like, what does it mean? Sometimes it is applied, sometimes it's not applied. So actually, we'll see how...
It means that sometimes Sanskrit is like other languages. Yeah. I mean, in other languages, that's what most, in English especially,
Means,
most things are bahula.
actually, Sanskrit grammar follows the Vedic scriptures, first of all. It's not that the scriptures follow the grammar. No, grammar was composed after the scriptures were made. At least the current modern grammar which we have, which is like the Panini, which is the standard and all. So the grammarians, they have composed grammar seeing the usages of words of different elements in the scriptures. It is not that scriptures are made seeing the grammatical rules. No. So The grammarians, they have done their best to compose a grammar so that we can understand everything, with the rule grammatically. But still there are some places, some points which even grammar is unable to decline in a grammatical way. So they are sometimes said as bahula, or sometimes they are said as nipata. Now nipata is something. Okay, I will tell you the definition of nipata. See, this is nipata means rules which provide forms to be treated as derived even though derivational details are missing. So we will not have derivational details how they are made, but will just be given a word, okay, use this in place of that, and that's all. So that is nipata. We will read about it more ahead. So it's like that grammar is following the scriptures, and at certain points, uh, yeah, there are few forms which even grammar is unable to unfold grammatically. Just like the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Satyam Param Dhimahi. So if you read the commentary of the first verse, then the acharyas explain that the word Dhimahi is not grammatically formed. And when I was personally reading Sanskrit in our school, Gaudiya Mata, so we, 6, 7 of us, the students, we were like, we took the dhatu, the verbal root, dhya, and we took the pratyas, all the pratyas of dhatu, and we were literally trying to make how dhimahi is derived through a grammatical process. And we did a lot of research, we couldn't make it. Then our teacher came, Guruji, and he told that it's like it's arsha prayoga. Arsha Prayoga means it's not grammatically made, but it's used by the previous authorities, and that's why we just accept them as genuine forms. So, yeah, things like that go on. But the beauty of Sanskrit is that, unlike other languages like English and all, because Sanskrit is a language of Susanskrit Janaha, of people who are refined, who are cultured. So even if there is some, speculation, apparent speculation, I'm saying about by the previous authorities, by previous acharyas, even then we accept it because at least they are done by the genuine people. But other languages like English and all, we don't know about the character of who's doing that. Bahula. So that's one point about Sanskrit. So yeah, Bahula.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so many things will
It's
be.
achintya.
Not a Chintya fully, but partially we can say. So context helps a lot in reading Sanskrit texts. Grammar is, of course, one part, but when we are reading, mm, so many places like grammatically we may stuck. Okay, what is this form? What is this sandhi? This and that. But context helps a lot to get a certain point, and it really helps me a lot. And I've also heard from many good devotees or good people who are good in Sanskrit. They also say the same thing, that contextual understanding is also there in Sanskrit readings. Okay, yeah, that's one point.
I don't know if you have this in India, but at least in the US, people often have in their house something called a junk drawer. Like anything you don't know where to put it, then you put all of those things in that drawer. So those cases are bahula.
In India, all of our boxes are junk drawers. We just put everything everywhere. Yeah, that's
I
a
think
joke.
the Indian people are much more tidy than here.
I mean, depends. Like everywhere, you get to see every kind of people. So depends. Okay, so that was it, and I won't take much of your time today. So work on that. The technique of identifying the sutras. You can just begin from the very beginning, Narayana, Udbhutam, Varnakramaha, and so on, and try to figure out. You can even mark above the numbers. You can mark numbers. Okay, this is sixth, this is first, and like that. That will
Oh,
be
so Narayan is the para-nimitta, he's the cause of all causes. So that's why it starts with Narayana.
yeah. There it is like he's the source, he's the cause. So there it is in that sense.
Could you tell us in this first sutra, which would be the kārya and
Which
para-nimitta?
one? Which one?
Narayana bhutoyam varnakramaha.
Okay.
So Narayan is a para-nimitta, right?
No. Okay. Yeah, Narayana is a Paranimita. Yeah. But here Narayana is like taken as the source, because that first sutra is like a shloka or is not a regular Vyakarana sutra.
But that's Panchami, right?
Yeah, that's Panchami, like Krishnath.
That's Panchami, but this is before there's any kārya, because first there have to be the varnas before there. I mean, the kārya is how you change the varnas. In this sutra, the varnas are issuing forth in the first place. There's nothing
Yes.
to change.
Yeah.
They are
So this is
coming
like Narayana is like coming out of Narayana, coming forth from Narayana. So Narayana is the source here. So if we see the like second sutra or like sutras like that, so actually in Sangya Prakaranam it's a different thing, beginning from Sandhi, because from Sandhi onwards the kārya takes place. In the Sangya we do not have any kārya, it's just a description. So in Sandhi, the kāryas take place, the Adesha takes place, Lopa takes place, there is a change, this and that. So if we start from Sandhi,
For example, in the Samsarasya Harachiti, we would say Samsarasya it's a para-nimitta.
No.
It's in sixth case.
Yeah, it's a kāryī. Yeah, it's a kāryī.
Sangsarasya is sixth case of Sangsara.
Yeah.
Harash becomes Haraha. So this is Prathama. This is the kārya, deletion. And Chiti is seventh case. Because the word is Chit. And this E is belonging to Ni, Ni. E of Ni, Chiti. So when Chit follows, now Chit means Cha as an indicatory letter. Because it is an indicative letter. So when Chit follows, there is deletion of the Sansara. Like that. Sansara se harashchiti.
For example, in Harer Govindo Jashi Brishneshu Budhecha.
Harer Govindah Jasi. What's next?
Brishneshu Budhecha.
Vrishni Shu Buddhi. Yes. So in this case, these three, these three all are para-nimittas. It doesn't mean that we have to have all of three at the same place. It can be either Jas, it can be either Vrishni or Buddha. So these three are in seventh case para-nimitta. Then Govindaha is the kārya. What is the kārya? Govinda. And we have the sutra idvaise a udvaise o ridvaise lidvaise al Govinda sangya. And of what Govinda happens, what is the kārya? Sthana Hari. Govinda takes place at Hari, Irama or Urama, whatever it is. Did you get it?
Yeah, I'm writing. So I have these examples to really grasp the rule.
This technique will also improve your the forms of the nouns forms, because this way you will have to understand, okay, Hare is 6-1, Govinda is 1-1, and like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is also one benefit of doing this way, understanding the sutra.
Hmm.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do Anvaya. So if we don't have any questions or doubts. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, and text 26. Okay. Mumukshavo ghor रूपान् हित्वा भूतपतीनथ नारायण कलाः शांता bhajanti ह्यनसूयवः. You know what? You can all you all know these words by now, whatever here, except for hitva and for bhajanti. You know all the words. We have declined them. Okay, I will just ask the root word, and if anyone knows, you can just prompt it. What is the root word of mumukshavaha?
Mukshu.
Yes, mumukshu. It's like guru becomes guravaha, Vishnu becomes Vishnavaha. So mumukshu becomes mumukshavaha, right? What is the root word of ghor rupan?
Rupa.
Yes, it's ghor rupa. So like Krishna becomes Krishnan, Rama becomes Raman. Similarly, ghor rupa becomes ghor rupan.
What is
Okay.
Gorupan?
We'll just know the meaning in the Anvaya. So what is, okay, first of all, what are the two words here?
Bhuta Pati.
Okay, then what are the three words in that case?
Natha.
No, not exactly.
The third word is not Natha.
No,
It's
no, no.
Patin and then Atha.
Yes, yes.
Patin and then Atha.
So Bhutapatin is one word here and Atha is another. So what is the root word for Bhutapatin? Anyone?
Something like
Bhutapati with a short E.
Yes, yes. Bhutapati with a short E, Vamana E. Like Hari becomes Hareen. Similarly, Pati with a short E becomes Pateen. Like that. Then what is the root word for this? Okay, just let it go.
Narayana Kala.
Yeah, this is Kala, but we didn't do it, so we will not do it.
That's a samasa, right?
Yeah, Samasa, and also it's like Trivikrama Aramanta. We haven't done it. Okay, what's for this one? Root word?
Shanta with a Vamana.
Yes, Vamana.
Vamana.
Yeah, Shanta. And okay, what are the two words here? Interesting.
He Anasuyapaha.
Yes, it's he with a short E,
He
Vamana
and
E, and then Anasuyavaha. Okay, Anasuyavaha. Now, what
So
is.
that looks like Anasuyu. Is that a word?
Yes,
Anasuyu?
yes, you got it. You see, now you might not be knowing the word by itself, but now you have an idea. Okay, if it is like Anasuyavaha, it must be Anasuyu. You can identify the other way around.
I think Mataji, you did very well. I was completely slow. I was just like watching the words. I didn't know if there were two words there. I think it's much more easier for you that you have roots in Bengali or Tamil or Hindi.
I know Tamil, just and very little Hindi, just Bengali, but it's mostly I've been in Sanskrit classes before, so it's just experience. But I haven't studied the grammar properly before, so now it's coming together.
So yeah, for those like who are haven't done like before. So you can take your time, but you can just browse in the dictionary and scroll.
Yeah, my problem is that, for example, I see Gora Rupan, and I think like Gora might be a word and Rupa might be another one.
Yeah, but you can just see, you can just try looking for combination of words. Like if I say I was like a new student and this verse is in front of me, I would try scrolling each word. For example, mumukshavaha. So I will see various combinations, mumukshavaha. So I will see, okay, mumukshu. No, it is not showing. Then mumukshu. Yeah, mumukshu it is showing. This is a way of writing here, X. So mumukshu means one who is desirous of freeing with the vamana urama. So mumukshu becomes mumukshavaha. Okay. Then we have ghora rupa. So ghora. See, automatically it gives you option. Ghora rupa
Hmm.
of a frightful appearance. Then anasuyavaha. Ana. Just try out different things. Anasuyu. You see, Anasuyu is here. Who is not envious. Anasuyu.
Hmm.
So like that, we have to make do a research in the dictionary. Yeah, and that's how we get it.
And now I'm using the Sanskrit online dictionary because I have not been able to install this. There's one person who will help me because in Mac it's very difficult to install these things. But I get your point now. It seems more reliable.
Yeah. So yes. Okay. So the meanings. Mumukshavastu anyan na bhajanti. The people. Okay, first of all, we'll read it. Mumukshavaha tu anyan na bhajanti. अतएव घोर रूपान भीषणाकृतीन भूतपतीन पितृभूत प्रजेशादीन हित्वा परित्यज्य मुमुक्षवः अनर्थ निवृत्ति प्रेप्सवः अनसूयवः देवतांतर अनिंदकाः शान्ताः असत्तृष्णाहीनाः सन्तः नारायणकलः नारायणस्य अवतारान् भजन्ति उपासते. So those who are desirous of getting liberated from the cycle of birth and death, mumukshavaha, they do not worship anyone else than the Lord Vishnu, or his incarnations, expansions. Anyan na bhajanti. Anyan is similar to Krishnan. So we should relate in our mind, whenever we are seeing the forms, we should try to relate. Oh, I've heard this form somewhere. Where have I heard? Where have I done? The mind should start rebelling if we are not getting to know what is the word actually. So they do not worship anyone else. So that is being mentioned in this verse. Ataeva, therefore, ghora rupan bhishan akritin bhutapatin pitri bhuta prajeshadin hitva parityajya mumukshavaha anartha nivritti prepsavaha. So those who are mumukshus, mumukshu means anartha nivritti prepsavaha. Anartha means the unwanted, undesirable. How do you say anartha in English? Anartha.
Impurity.
Impurities, right? Impurities.
Unwanted things, yeah.
Yeah. So those who are desirous, prepsava, of getting rid, nivritti, getting rid from the impurities. Those who are desirous of getting rid from one's impurities, they do not, they parityajya, they give up. They give up, or they just, they do not neglect actually, they just hitva, bypass, or they give up uh, the pitri bhuta prajeshadin. The pitris, the forefathers. Basically, it means the worship of forefathers, the worship of bhutas, the worship of Prajesh, like Prajapatis, ityadi, who are mentioned here as Ghor Rupan, Bhishana Akritin, who bear terrible uh, who are terribly disguised, or whose appearance are not so pleasing. Bhishana is like frightful. So they bypass or they give up the worship of such Pitri, Bhut, Prajesh ityadi, who are terrible in looking. And now someone may say, oh, are they disrespecting them? Are they envious of them? No, no, no. Then Suta Goswami says, Anasuyavaha, which means Devata Antar Anindakaha. They are not envious of others, demigods or forefathers or Prajesh. No, they are not envious, and they do not even blaspheme Anindakaha, other demigods. No, they do not do like that. They are Anasuyavaha, they are not envious, they do not blaspheme anyone, and they are Shantaha, which means Asat Trishna Hinaha Santaha. They are
I'm
devoid.
sorry, in Devatantara, what is the role of Antara here?
Antara means others, other demigods.
Oh,
They do not blaspheme other demigods. Other than whom? Other than the Lord. Other than Narayana Kalaha. And they are Shantaha, which means Asat Trishna Hinaha Santaha. They are devoid of. This Hina means devoid of. Hina, Dina Hina, Jata Chila, Hariname Uddharira, So, such devotees, such mumukshus, they are devoid of the asat trishna, the material aspirations, trishna, or the material desires. Okay, santa, and being in such situation, santaha. Now, this santa doesn't refer to santa like the sadhus. No, this santa refers to being asat trishna hina in that position. Okay. Narayana Kalaha Bhajanti, they worship Bhajanti, the various incarnations of Lord Narayana. Narayanasya, this also we know, Narayanasya Avataran, the incarnations of Narayana. This is the meaning.
What is Trishna?
Trishna can be aspirations, it can mean desire.
So Asat Trishna Hina, devoid of Asat Trishna or non-real aspirations.
Yeah, actually you're right. Literally, asat would mean non-real. Yeah, you're right.
it's one of the things in Madhurya Kadambini. But so Trishna, it also means thirst?
Yes, yes. Thirst. Krishna.
And Trishna is not related to three. In this case, no.
No. Trishna is like a one word. Trishna.
Mm.
So asat is right. You said right. Non-real asat, which is like material, which is not.
Mm.
Okay.
So prepsu
Yeah.
is desiring. They want to get rid of those anarthas. So prepsu is the word for desiring or desirous or something.
This is it. Prepsu. Wishing to attain, desirous of obtaining, seeking, ityadi.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we move ahead. Okay, Shloka 27. Mahaprema Mataji, is that okay? If you are here.
Yes, the one following.
Mataji herself is a professor and she somehow bears me. Okay. Shloka 27. Rajas prakritayah samasheela bhajanti vai pitribhuta prajeshadin shriyaishwarya prajepsavah. Now this is a contrast to the previously spoken verse. In the previous verse we heard about those who are mumukshavaha, who desire to attain liberation, freedom. They worship Krishna and they bypass others. Now those who are material seekers, seekers of material profits, whom do they worship is being mentioned here. So it says, Rajas tamaha prakritayah rajas tamasi prakriti swabhavah yesham te samashilah ataev pitrabhutadibhi samam शीलम येषाम ते ही श्रिया ऐश्वर्य प्रजेप्सवः लक्ष्मी वित्त पुत्र कामिनः सन्तः पितृभूत प्रजेशादीन तत्तत् फल प्रदात्रीन भजन्ति तैः समशीलत्वात् एव तद् भजने प्रवृत्ति इति अर्थः. Now those who are rajah tamah prakritayah, those whose nature is defined by the mode of passion and mode of ignorance. That is like the meaning. Or whose nature is of passion and ignorance. So such people who are in passion and ignorance, they and their nature equals to the nature of the Pitri and Bhuta and so on, Prajesha, forefathers, the Bhutas, ghosts, and the Prajesha, the progenitors, because they are also in modes of passion and ignorance, respectively. So the nature of these people is like equal to the nature of progenitors, ghosts, forefathers, and so on.
So
Samashila.
Shilam is also nature?
Yeah, Shila means Swabhava.
Okay.
Shila means Swabhava.
Samashila means same nature or same swabhava.
Of the same nature. Of the same
Uh-huh.
nature as of Pitri Bhuta Ityadi.
Which basically is the whole humanity, because who is free from all these desires?
Yes, actually, you're right. Now, so such people, they are Shriya Aishwarya Prajepsavaha. They are desirous of Kaminaha. They are Kami, desirous of what? They are desirous of Lakshmi, wealth. Yeah, Lakshmi is like wealth, or Vitta also means wealth. How can we differentiate between Shri and Aishwarya? Opulence, wealth, we can say like that, So although they sound synonymous, so they are desirous of opulence, they are desirous of wealth, they are desirous of putra, a son. So being in such a desiring state, they worship bhajanti. Whom do they worship? Pitribhuta prajeshadin. They worship the forefathers, they worship the ghosts, they worship the progenitors, etc. Who are tat phala pradatrin, who bestow the worshipper with respective fruits, as it is said here. So bhajanti taihi samashilatvat eva tad bhajane pravritti, because they have the same nature as of them. That's why it's very natural for them, pravritti, to engage in their bhajana, in their worship. Like that. Iti artha.
In this case, after Lakshmi, Vita, Putra, Kaminaha, Santaha. Santaha. Why is
So
that
this Santa is not the sadhu or the devotees. This Santaha means being in that situation, or being, like being in that existence. Being.
Comes from same as aham,
From same
root, like to be.
Yes, yes, yes.
Us,
As bhuvi.
like asti.
Yes, asti.
As? Asti.
Asti.
I was wondering if in the song Brindavana Ashtakam, I think it starts saying Mamastu Moksho Vaikunta Loke Vina Parshadat Bam. Is that the same Momoksho? Mumukshu?
Yes, yes, actually, you're right.
So that means that I don't remember the first letters,
Yes,
but
I
that
have
would
I
be
have read that like once or twice, and if I'm not wrong, it's the same thing, mumukshu or mumukshu something. Yeah.
referring to the person that's looking for this type of.
Yes, who's desirous of
Mumuksha is for looking for moksha, liberation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so if one reads the actual Vedas, the Vedic hymns, a lot of the hymns are like this. They're looking for Lakshmi Vitta. I mean, it says, give me wealth, give me cows, give me a good spouse, give me putra.
Mhm.
Those are the Karma Kanda
Yeah.
Vedic hymns.
So now they are not mumukshus, they are Shriya Aishwarya Prajepsava. And for them, Karma Kanda and all those sections are written down. So,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
Acha.
The next part is interesting, the famous verses. We'll resume this next time.
Just
Okay.
one question. In this case, para means like the highest. Vasudeva Paraveda.
No, para here is like not highest. It's like, we say the word tatpara. Now, how would you translate tatpara in English? Relating to that, or following that.
Mhm. Because there is one Subhashita that says like Mityatvam para rogaha, Mityatvam para
Yeah,
tapaha.
actually, that para is a different usage, and this para is a different usage. So here it's like Veda, which are aiming at Vasudev, something in that regard. So we'll get, this is a different usage of para.
And in the other, in the Nityatvam Subhashita, what would be the use of para?
I will have to read that, but you said Nityatvam para roga. What is it?
Yeah, it's Mityatvam para rogaha, like Mityatvam, falseness is the highest or is
Okay, that's
somehow.
para is like the supreme in that sense, the topmost, the supreme high in that sense.
Acha.
But this is not that para, that meaning.
So in this case, because sometimes they translate this verse as Vasudeva Paraveda, like the highest, or the goal of Veda, no? It's Vasudeva, the goal of ritual is Vasudeva, the goal of
Yeah,
yoga
but
is.
still it is different meaning than superior and that general meaning of para. So we'll read this in the next session, this verse, Anvaya. Okay, so we'll stop here for today, and so we'll
Thank you so much, Param Sundar Prabhu.
Haribol Prabhu, Dhanavad.
Dhanavad pranams.
Akrur Prabhu, you can stay, we can discuss if you like.
Yes. Yeah, I will stay.
Thank you, Prabhu.